Travel is a complex and abstract notion, often accompanied by conflicting ideologies. Today, I will introduce a scenario that diverges from the conventional portrayal of time travel in Dragon Ball Z. As usual, Trunks takes the time machine back 20 years into the past from age 784 to age 764. He makes quick work of Mega Frieza and King Ko before giving Goku the heart virus medicine that would eventually save Goku's life. However, this is where events start to change drastically. Trunks bids farewell as he makes his way back through the time stream to his original timeline. But what greets Trunks would shock Trunks to his very core. Keep in mind, because Trunks was traveling from 20 years into the future, that would mean that the year he finally travels back to would already be far past the events of Dragon Ball Super, because Battle of Gods was during age 778 and the Tournament of Power age 780, both of them a few years before age 784, which is the original time period Trunks is from. So before I unveil what scenery greets Trunks, I would have to recap every single event in Dragon Ball Z and also Dragon Ball Super, but this time around in Trunks' timeline. But before I go on further, let me first explain how time travel works in this version of events. In the original Dragon Ball Z canon timeline, Trunks going back in time only served to create an alternate timeline, thus that alternate timeline was separate from his own. However, in this version of events, Trunks' actions in the past doesn't create a new branch timeline. Instead, he has a direct impact on his own timeline. By giving Goku the heart virus medication, Goku manages to survive the heart virus, though his forgetfulness still means he was out of it for a few days. The original version of Androids 17 and 18 from Trunks' timeline were ruthless and cruel, but they were also weaker. Therefore, Vegeta as a Super Saiyan would be able to pretty easily match one of them, while the other will have to fend off an extremely strong Piccolo with the Z fighters assisting him. It's safe to say that thanks to Trunks' reminder, Androids 17 and 18 stand no chance. However, the Cell saga ending like that prematurely meant that there could be some problems down the road. Jiro's lab and as an extension, Cell is never discovered, so Cell remains in the depths of the mountains. Gohan isn't forced to undergo the 1 year of harsh training in the hyperbolic time chamber, so he never fully taps into his latent power. Kami never fuses with Piccolo, which means Dende never becomes the new Guardian of Earth, and Piccolo and Kami will still be separate beings. Goku is alive and well, which means he never gets to train with a dead body in the afterlife, and would most likely never tap into Super Saiyan 3. Though the rivalry between Goku and Vegeta would be stronger than ever and would likely propel their powers far beyond where they were in the original canon of events, besides the fact that Goku would have no secret transformation at his disposal. Goku not being in the other world would also mean that he would never learn the fusion dance technique. So the Buu saga starts like usual, with Gohan's energy being absorbed and the Z fighters tailing Yamu and Spopovich to Babidi's hideout. Gohan isn't rusty here because Goku had constantly trained with Gohan in the 7-year time skip, so I would actually put him on par with his Cell saga self. Gohan defeats the Bura handily, which means Babidi never gets enough energy to resurrect Majin Buu. With Shin's help, he managed to overcome Babidi's weird magic and kill Babidi once and for all. Buu's egg is taken by Shin for safekeeping as he bids farewell to the group, which means Gohan never gets his potential unlocked, and Okai remains sealed in the Z Sword. The events of Dragon Ball Super will basically play out the same, with Super Saiyan God Goku losing to Beerus, and then Goku killing Golden Frieza. The Universe 6 vs Universe 7 tournament stays mostly the same, except Piccolo loses to Frost much more easily, thanks to him never actually fusing with Kami. However, the final result wouldn't change, because Goku would still lose the hit, and the hit would still forfeit against Monaka. However, the Goku Black saga would change drastically. You see, in canon, time rings are created every time an alternate universe is created. That's why Zeno had prohibited the gods from time traveling in order to reduce the number of time rings. However, with the logic of time travel we are applying here, there can only be one timeline, so there's only one time ring for each universe. With the presence of only one time ring, it's likely Gowasu would keep a closer eye on it, which means it would be harder for Zamasu to steal it. However, it still wouldn't change anything. In the end, Zamasu still kills Gowasu and then travels forward 10 years into the future to obtain the Super Dragon Balls to take Goku's body. However, this is where things start to get confusing. Our logic of time travel only applies to the past. How about the future? Would Zamasu traveling to the future have any effect on the present? Or would Goku's death be a fixed event in the future because of Zamasu's involvement? My own headcanon would be that since alternate timelines cannot be created, the present timeline remains the same, but Goku's death would be a fixed event in the future. However, this is where Zamasu's plan falters. He should have left immediately after getting Goku's body, but instead he played to his sadistic tendencies, taking the time to kill Chi-Chi and Goten and relish in their terror. Vegeta senses a weird key, one similar to Goku's, yet still different in some way. Immediately, Vegeta flies over and sees Goku Black massacring the Sun family. Without hesitation, Vegeta blows Goku Black up, killing him instantaneously. Keep in mind that this Vegeta is one that has trained for 10 years after the Tournament of Power, so his power is on another level. So Zamasu's plan never goes to fruition because he gets himself killed in the future. Though, because of Zamasu, Universe 10 does need a new Supreme Kai and a new God of Destruction. Leaving that aside, we will jump straight from the Universe 6 vs Universe 7 arc into the Tournament of Power. However, this is where I'll leave off for now. How will the events in the Tournament of Power unfold? Will Gohan and Piccolo being weaker and the absence of androids 17 and 18 change the events to come? Well, these are questions we will answer in the next part on Dragon Ball Z.